it's something that we haven't seen too much of, but it's a matchup that just makes way too much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Two extremely aggressive players with some very, very cheeky builds of their respective races. Very micro-intensive players as well.
Yes.
herO arguably having the best micro of all time when it comes to the Protoss players. ByuN, he has a little bit of competition, I think, from Maru. Heart of the Swarm era Maru, but yeah, in Legacy of the Void, no contest at all. ByuN is the best micro Terran player.
Yeah, I think everyone would agree with that, and that's why it's always so much fun watching them duke it out, because you do see the intense micro fights between the two of them with their armies and their styles themselves clashing with how aggressive they are. It's a bit of the best of both worlds,
Yeah.
and yeah, it does bring really explosive games.
Speaking of explosive games, I remember this map between the two of them like last
I'm
week.
getting flashbacks. I'm getting PTSD flashbacks.
What's the opposite? Wait, what's the opposite of PTSD? Nostalgia? Question mark?
I'm getting
Like,
fantasies.
yeah,
You're
pull the boys, pull the boys, papi.
Erotic fantasies. Oh, gosh.
As we kick off a best of 3 semifinales here on Hotwire LE. In the top right hand corner map, swatting all the way in the top right hand corner, we have a red Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Shopify Rebellion. We have ByuN. Doing it for you, Toby.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player himself representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is herO.
Look at that decal. You could say that the reason why herO has that decal is because Dragon Phoenix Gaming doesn't have an in-game clan. But really, he has it because it represents his feelings right now towards ByuN. He's determined.
He is determined, mate. He is hard at work right now. He wants his revenge. He was robbed of like 100 USD last week. He wants it back. And oh god, we'll see if ByuN can do it again. What are you calling, mate? Those fantasies, those flashbacks. Is he gonna pull the boys?
He's gotta pull the boys.
The question is how many times.
All times.
Oh boy.
If you're not worker rushing, what are you doing?
Exactly. If you're not worker rushing, you're not playing TVP.
Yeah.
Boy.
Or PvT, I suppose. As I have seen probes be pulled against Terran, and it's never a pretty sight.
It has happened before. But we'll see how this goes here as we are getting into our first game. And so far, ByuN, everything's standard from him. This time, he does not skip his Reaper. Does make it, is going across the map. There isn't it waiting for him. And, does deny him entry.
Nicely done here. ByuN not going in for a follow up just yet. He needs to regen some health on that Reaper, but yeah, it does keep him guessing for a little while longer. We can see that herO's not doing anything too suspicious though.
Yeah, pretty standard so far, going for the Twilight Council opener. No Stargates here. This should be for Blink Stalkers. Should be, but we'll see. ByuN is still a little bit unaware. He's trying to find a way in, but wherever he turns, there's an adept, the same adept, waiting for him.
Everywhere I go, I see her face. No!
She's always there. She's always watching, mate. And ByuN does not get in behind this. Because he doesn't get in, he's forced to play it safe. He does have a Cyclone on the way. His Marines are being kept at home as well, just in case there is an Oracle opener. He is making sure he has the anti-air to deal with it.
Yeah, herO right now is doing herO things. He's focusing a lot more on his ground army, but ByuN doesn't know that.
Yeah, and especially in a short series like a best of 3, you don't want to take chances, you don't want to throw things away. Meanwhile, we've seen this from ByuN before. going for more of a 2-1 opener here.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting variant on the, I guess the 2-on-1 is how you would describe it, but it's more like an awkwardly timed 3 racks. Because he does get the 3rd racks before he pushes out eventually, and yeah, it's just interesting how he goes about it. I would have to ask Terran players who are much more analytical than I am, what's the advantage and disadvantages of building this way. Mark, if you're listening, this could be a video idea for you.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. As I guess it's a way to make use of the Cyclone because he will have medevacs much faster, relatively faster, so we can go for a drop with the army that he has, and he can hit a timing with Stim. But again, this isn't gonna hit with like +1 or any kind of NG Bay upgrades, or it probably won't even hit with combat shields. So yeah, it's just that much more aggressive.
I guess that does make sense. It's a way for him to be active on the map much earlier on, even if he's not planning on getting any damage done.
And meanwhile, we do see herO also trying to scout across the map. He also hasn't seen too much, but there we go. The Observer dips in, confirms the production, confirms the medevacs as well, as they are lifted up and they move out across the map. And herO's
Fantastic vision coming out from him. And he knows there are no defenses. Oh, I was going to say no defenses, but actually...
He has Blink!
He knows. Yeah, he knows he can just deny this drop entirely.
Yeah,
Be a little bit conservative with his blink.
Yeah, there we go. He's blinking against the army itself, and here we go. He does dive on forward. He will pick off one of the medevacs. Luckily for ByuN, it was the empty one.
Yeah, he has kept the majority of his forces alive while I say that, but he still lost those 8 Marines regardless to the Stalkers.
That means they don't need to protect the tank.
Boys are going to have to be pulled to defend rather than to attack. Bunker doesn't even get repaired in time, and things are looking for bad to worse right now for ByuN. Does he turn around with his drop, or does he go across the map? He turns around, but he loses 7 SCVs regardless.
Yeah, he has to turn around. ByuN loses so much here. Not just his workers, not just the denial of the drop, which means ByuN can't be aggressive himself. He also lost a tank, and now that means that any kind of follow-up tank push that he wanted to go for is going to be delayed as well.
So at this point, if you're ByuN, just pull the ball.
I know, actually, yeah. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like, ByuN has been neutered at this point. He wanted to be the top dog out there, but like he's been kind of like cut at the heels here from herO. So there's a couple of different ways you can go about it, and it looks like he wants to try and catch up economically. He throws down his 3rd CC. Will not pull the boys.
Yeah, not gonna be playing this out too aggressive, but it's something that does work pretty effectively in TVP. I think recently ryung has been able to show off this style where you turtle up intensely on 3 bases against your Protoss opponent and then just go for little drops here and there to try to force them to take an unfavorable engagement.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the wiser choice here from ByuN, because if he did try to push out now, he would run into a Colossus. Not just 1, but 2.
Yeah.
Like, like herO is ready for any kind of counterattack. We have the shield batteries, we have the sentries for force fields as well. It just would not work. And I think ByuN is aware of that. He doesn't want to be forced into playing to herO's music, right? So he is going for a 3rd base instead. And you know what? He's even able to shut down this War Prism. Oh, he even gets a kill.
Nicely done. Nice little bit of damage going on over there. Not able to get much damage with this drop, but again, he's just trying to keep herO busy while he macros up back at home.
Yeah, exactly. 3rd base is on the way, going to be landed on location. We do see him rerouting his army as well to defend it. At the same time, herO, okay, he was just trying to catch that drop. Doesn't have eyes on the 3rd base yet, but soon will with these Stalkers.
Yeah, and herO then has a bit of a choice to make. Does he want to try to deal even more damage on top of this base, or does he just want to outgrow ByuN? He can do both, honestly. But for now, he is focusing on his own macro, on his own growth.
Yeah, you know, we have that fourth base on the way. He gets a full scout of the main base as well, confirming the Ghost Academy, confirming the upgrades as well, so he knows that ByuN shouldn't really be all in or anything. And now he's even posturing outside the base. I don't really see him pushing into these tanks, but maybe he could find a way into the natural.
Yeah, he does have Thermal Lance as well, so he can shave off some of the bio if need be. You know, Marines are kind of replaceable. They are kind of expendable units, but if he continues to lose them, ByuN, I mean, it will have a knock-on effect. Snowball effect. There we go.
Yeah, it will. You have to be careful. You have to be careful with that. Meanwhile, like you were saying, the more young style of just turtling up is what ByuN has been doing so far. That drop from earlier was thwarted, and he hasn't really gone for another one. He has a couple of spotter units here and there, but for the most part, just chilling here, waiting to receive the army of herO in kind of the best position he can.
But herO's not taking the bait just yet.
I mean, there's no reason to. Like, he's working on more Colossi. He can work on Disruptors from here if he wants to as well. Just keep on teching up. He even takes a fifth. Oh my god.
Yeah. This is why he's not taking the bait.
Yeah.
And why he doesn't have to take the bait, because he himself is macroing up hard. That's a pretty good army, though. Not gonna lie.
Oh my god, but here we go. The Colossus are looking a little bit exposed. The Marauders are coming in. The fact they're trying to focus him down.
And they will be able to get one of them. The Warpism not in position to juggle that Colossus quite yet. The Vikings here to chase them down. There's a shield battery here by this fourth base location. herO popping it now seems a little bit premature, but it does deter ByuN for the time being.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we could have held on to this overcharge a little bit longer. The Chargers are trying to get on top of these tanks. One tank is going to fall, but the Colossus get focused down. And with the death of the Colossus, there's nothing stopping these Marauders.
There really isn't anything at all at the on the map right now for herO. Like 75 worker supply against 40. It used to be 20. ByuN, he's rallying across the map as much as he can. Even this one Colossus, barely able to win its battle against that tank, and it gets taken out by the Viking in the end there. ByuN has so much momentum going his way. herO needs to pray that he doesn't see the fifth, and he does.
He does see the fifth. Again, herO took the worst fight imaginable. His Colossus were completely exposed. They died before they could get a single swipe off as well. We do have a couple of snipes going off, and the warping is cool, but it's a slow warping, mate. It's not going to change anything.
It really isn't. I mean, even a couple of pylons got taken out there, canceling the warpins. GG is called. ByuN takes game number 1.
Wow.
Wow.
Things were looking so good for herO, but again, there was that one moment where he was the most vulnerable. He left himself exposed. His Colossus were in the middle of nowhere, focusing on rocks, on the wrong side of the rocks as well, on the wrong side of the tracks. There was no way out. And you could argue that ByuN got lucky, but he scanned ahead of time. He saw the army, and you could like hear him smack his lips. He was like,
yeah.
It was like, that looks so juicy.
His stomach growling. Yeah, ByuN has that killer instinct.
Yeah. He saw the opportunity, and mate, he took it. He
absolutely did. And you know what? Like, he only needs to win one more map here to face Creator in the grand finals. As we have just been updated, Creator did beat the Classic 2-0 in that PvP semifinals.
Oh, very nicely done here. GG, well played. Congratulations to Creator. Kind of what we expected. I'd say kind of. I do think that he doesn't get the recognition he deserves because he is the previous season of GSL runner-up. He's a great player, and he proves that here by taking down his opponents and making it all the way to the grand finals. Yeah,
once again, definitely expecting. I definitely was expecting Creator to win. I wasn't expecting it to be a 2-0. But that is that series. This is this series on Berlingrad LE. Of course, in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have a red Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Shopify Rebellion. Old mate Toby, he is ByuN.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Berlingrad ALE, we have The South Korean Protoss player himself representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is herO. Boy,
Once again, not faking out a proxy.
Yeah.
What is going on, ByuN?
I think he's learned a little bit. Maybe I don't know. It's I like it. I appreciate it because I feel like ByuN has had a certain style for a long time, and now he's like again branching out a little bit. You know, he's seeing what's on the other side of the fence, and he's finding a couple of more standard builds and standard openers, and he's finding a lot of success with it. Even the last game, we saw him open up aggressively, forced to calm down, forced to just chill out a little bit, just stayed on 3 bases, just macroed on up, then went for a big push instead, and he's finding success.
Yeah. Perhaps enough to take another weekly.
Maybe.
Shall see.
Meanwhile, on the other side of things, of course, we have herO, the highest rated, the best Protoss player in the entire world. Still a lot of hype around him. And again, he was playing out game 1 beautifully. Like, up until the last moments, up until he caught his army was out of position in the middle of the map, up until then, he was doing all the right moves. He was shutting down the drops, he was expanding, he was taking up. It felt like he was doing everything right.
Yeah, he was definitely in control throughout the entire game. Right until the end there. I feel like at the start of the game, ByuN had a lot of options. herO slowly limited ByuN one after another by taking control of the map and by shutting down those drops left and right, until ByuN only had one path to victory, and somehow he was able to find that path.
Yeah.
I mean, in hindsight, you can't say, oh yeah, herO should have probably pressured ByuN a little bit more. Should have been a little bit more aggressive by that 3rd base location or harassed a bit more. But at the same time, ByuN was turtling up really hard, and behind that, herO himself wasn't neglecting his own macros. So it's like you said, Light. It felt like he was doing all the right moves. ByuN just found one window of opportunity and took it.
Yeah. Oh god, it is a bit of a feels bad, man, if you are herO, right, to be in that scenario. But at the same time, you could argue that it's a loss that you can easily bounce back from, because he's like, okay, I know the mistake that I made. I know it wasn't a mate. Like, there weren't many mistakes to be had, and if I just take care a little bit more in that scenario, then I'm in a better position.
Yeah. That's definitely very doable here on a map like Berlingrad. Whether he wants to, be a bit more aggressive and apply more pressure on ByuN, or if he wants to be a bit more defensive, I think either way, it's going to work out a little bit better for him.
Definitely. Meanwhile, when it comes to the openers, we should point out that he went for something a little bit different. He did go for a Stargate opener Oracle first into these Phoenixes, and because of that, he is able to CC the first Cyclone, but we even have a second.
Wow. No economic damage being dealt just yet. A couple of Marines do get taken out, but not that many. Oracle coming in here, though.
I love it. The Cyclones are completely out of position, so the Oracle is going to have free reign here of the main base. He goes for a Revelation instead, though, and the Cyclones don't have to turn around. Uh-oh.
I really like that move there from herO. A lot of times, after the initial wave of Oracles is deflected by the Terran player, they're kind of thinking, okay, that Oracle doesn't have any more energy on it. I can send my anti-air to harass. In this case, no, herO did have energy on that Oracle.
He did, made him with the micro. Oh my god, 1, 2 Phoenixes get taken out for the cost of 1 Cyclone. Well worth it there in the end, but the Cyclone was actually hunted down by that Oracle in the end. herO does come out on top in that trade, just barely. Even going to be able to clean up these Marines.
Like so. And once again, ByuN is kind of giving up map control by pushing out like that, and by having his Cyclones be completely deflected. He's building a bunker now. He's going to have to really work on his defenses.
Okay, can the bunker finish? It looks like it just barely will finish. The Adepts do arrive, but a little bit too late. Now with the power of the bunker, it's going to be that much harder to break. At the same time, Oracles dip on in, I'm sure, trying to pull away the army of ByuN. Is able to pick up maybe 1 more SCV, 2 more.
Not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, whatever he can really do to slow down the economy of ByuN.
Exactly. We even see herO forcing a stim here. It looks like he will lose a Stalker as a result, but oh my god, the Adepts actually get in.
Yeah, I mean, ByuN tunnel visioning a little bit there on his front line. Kind of ignoring the shades of the Adepts coming in here to get even more SCV kills. And behind all of this, herO is transitioning out. He's getting more gateways. He's working on charge, not neglecting his Phoenix count. You know, CCing a couple of tanks or potentially even the Widow Mines is going to be super valuable for him.
Yeah, very different kind of Protoss that we're going to be seeing here. Less reliant on splash damage, less reliant on those robo units specifically. So no Colossus, no Disruptors. Instead, just relying on charge lots and Archons, which isn't too bad, to be honest. You know, it's not quite the Swarm Toss we're used to, but a version of it nonetheless. And yeah, it can do really well, especially if ByuN is a little bit too aggressive and if he moves out.
Yeah, I definitely feel like this is a style of Protoss that's a little bit difficult to pull off just because it is a bit more micro-intensive, but if you can pull it off, it is super effective, and of all the players out there that I have confidence in, it is herO.
Yeah, I'm really worried for ByuN. He has been tagged for a while. This is the second tag on this army. He's still moving out, and I think herO is just going to shut this down.
It's misdirection.
Yeah.
No. It's misdirection coming out from ByuN is what it is.
Is it? Is it? Because herO is coming, and we have a lot of charge lots. We have Phoenixes to shut down the Medivacs as well. Like, he's hunting down this bush.
That's a big bio army.
Is it?
Well, it depends how well he can kite, really.
He's trying to run away, Yaku. He doesn't want to fight. He knows he can't fight this. He's trying to step his heart out right now.
Is he running away, or is he kiting?
he's on the run, mate. Oh, but yo, now the one-right shots. Ooh.
One of them will connect on one of the Phoenixes. Not quite enough to take it out, but it softens that up a lot. One more Widow Mine connection, and this entire cloud of Phoenixes will go down. ByuN kiting as best he can, baiting a lot of these Zealots into Widow Mines. And enough of them do get taken out that herO has to back away for the time being. Still has the map control, still preventing ByuN from expanding. I just noticed ByuN only now getting his third base.
This is a late third, mates. We're already A+ minutes into the game. herO is getting his fourth, while ByuN is still stuck on a 2-base economy. This army, again, was supposed to push out. Like, he has a pretty scary army, don't get us wrong. There's a lot of Marauders here, a lot of Widow Mines, but he's stuck at home.
Yeah, what good is an army if you can't do anything with it?
Yeah. Oh boy, but to be fair, I'm sure ByuN is planning to move out soon. Again, here we go. How many Widow Mines do we have in total? We have 8 Widow Mines, mates, and if they get off, they're gonna kill whatever army that herO has.
Yeah, if they get off, though.
If they get off, yeah.
So, these Widow Mines are lacking Drilling Claws. They're even lacking an armory right now, so they don't have Permacloak.
Ooh, we even have a couple of Marauders getting picked off. Meanwhile, decent Widow Mine shot here in the center of that Phoenix Cloud. Does get rid of a lot of those shields. But here we go, ByuN. He's pushing in towards that third base.
Burrowing all of his mines. All of these Zealots are on top of them, but enough mines were picked up by the Phoenixes that it's not too much of an issue. Battery overcharge is going to deter ByuN for the time being.
Yeah, every single mine was taken out. Every single mine. It's only Marines and Marauders left, and if he fights out in the open, he knows he will get surrounded and swallowed up. So he's making use of this choke point, making use of these rocks here in the middle of the map. He is going to back off in the end, and at least he is getting his third base up.
That he is. My question to ByuN right now is, where's the armory? And then I look at the income and I'm like, oh right, he can't afford one while also producing units like this.
Yeah, like he's getting Ghost, mate. Like he's getting a very expensive army relative to how much money he's making. Oh boy. So at some point I'm sure he would love to get into that. Meanwhile, EMPs.
Doesn't quite EMP there, because he's waiting for enhanced shockwaves. They're just about finish up.
Meanwhile, another Widow Mine shot does go off on the Phoenix Cloud, but a couple of reinforcements are going down as well. Phoenix is trying to find whatever they can. I'm sure they would have loved to have caught a Ghost there, but EMP.
I think that EMP actually got quite a number of Phoenixes there. herO, of course, has a pretty good army, but he does not want to tangle with all of those ghosts and EMPs.
Yeah, meanwhile, he does catch one ghost in the main base, but the rest of the army of ByuN is pushing out across the map. Is this the wisest of choice? I don't know. He looked pretty well fortified at home with all that SimCity. It was very impressive. But again, okay, ByuN, he recognizes the strength of this army and he will back off.
And honestly, ByuN, he's getting pretty close to max out at the moment.
Yeah.
Surprised at what he was able to pull off. He will have the quantity, but not quite the quantity, as the armory is only starting right now. Won't have his upgrades at the same time as herO.
Yeah, nice. EMP does connect with basically every single Phoenix there. A lot of the shields and energy now gone. But here we go. herO, he has incorporated some robo units. He now has disruptors.
There's nothing to directly counter disruptors except for splitting well. Because we're talking about ByuN here. He knows how to split well. Yeah, loses a couple of one or two Marauders there. Something like that.
Yeah, not the biggest of deals. Another Nova goes off, does get another Marauder, but the Ghosts have been surviving. We have a fourth Nova! Oh, God!
Oh, coming in for the high ground. ByuN, not anticipating that, will be losing a Ghost. Again, it's such an expensive loss right now for ByuN to be losing Ghosts like this.
Exactly. More Novas are going off. Nice target fire there on one of those disruptors. EMPs as well. Oh.
Yeah, lands on basically the majority of that army. Another Ghost gets sniped by the Purification Nova. If you look at all the Ghosts that ByuN has right now, they barely have any energy on them.
Barely any energy at all. He's been trying to EMP so often. Meanwhile, this isn't even his entire army. He just had to drop out on the map.
Yeah, very massive drop at that. Basically half his entire army moving towards the north, and ByuN has finally realized, oh, wait. Here I don't have herO on the back foot. He has me on the back foot. Hey, turn around and fight with everything I have.
Yeah, the drop turns around, but not before the third base goes down. The CC itself is alive, but every single worker will fall in the process. The drop has returned. Again, a little bit of a miscalculation by ByuN, but maybe he can still take the fight.
He has to land them. I'm looking at these medevacs and how low they are. Ooh. Apparently he doesn't need to land them. He's still winning this engagement. Despite not having his entire army. A couple of zealots coming in from the back, but are getting caught. This is not the surround I thought herO would get.
herO does get a bit of a pseudo surround. Meanwhile, here we go. The disruptors are being focused on one after the other. There's only two left. Oh my God, somehow they survive.
The zealots, man, they're a pretty good buffer. But just like that, ByuN has lost half his mineral line and half his army.
Oh God! Oh, the Nova goes off. Barely doesn't connect there, but more of them are.
Yeah, one of them will get a really good connection, and it is going to be enough for herO to tie that series 1-1.
My God. GG.
See what happens when you don't pull the boys?
It's what happens, mate. It's what happens. GG, well played. ByuN does end up running out of steam towards the end there. Again, a crucial mistake. Imagine how well the fight would have gone for him if he didn't pick up those 4 medevacs, right? We saw how well things were already going for ByuN in that kind of second to last fight when he was trying, kind of surrounding the army of herO. He wasn't even fighting with his full army. The rest of it was still those medevacs coming back home.
And he still was winning that engagement, but in the end there, herO dealt enough damage to the economy and was able to trade just efficiently enough. Honestly, a little bit inefficient from the side of herO, but he was able to bleed out ByuN just enough that he could recover, herO I mean, but ByuN could not.
Exactly, and that's sometimes how games go in Berlingrad. It's very compact, and because that does force a lot of aggression and a lot of engagements early on, but now in the ace match in game 3, we are going into one of the larger maps.
Yeah, complete whiplash. Coming in from literally the smallest map to literally the largest map in the current map pool.
Oh.
It's like if you took Metalopolis from Wings of Liberty and then went into Frost? Question mark? From Heart of Swarm? What's a larger map than Frost?
Overgrowth. I don't remember.
Overgrowth is 3 standard. But yeah, gonna have to get used to this as we conclude our best of 3 semifinales here on Glittering Ashes LE. We're of course in the top right hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top right hand corner. We have our Red Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He is, of course, going to be representing Shopify Rebellion. Old mate Toby. I wish you were in the chat, but I think it's like 4 a.m. in Germany right now, so understandable why you're not. He is ByuN.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player himself representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. DPG, it is herO. I just had to respond to Frank in the, the Discord.
Discord, yeah. Exclamation mark Discord. In the chat, we'll bring in Cranky Ducklings Discord server. It was in the general chat, so you know, it's not sub-bound or anything.
Yep.
Tell Frank who you support.
Yeah, Pele.
Pele!
People are like, what the hell are they talking about? Okay, if you're in the Discord, you know.
For everyone else, you know, you don't have context, and I love that you don't have context.
Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. As we do have our openers here, ByuN playing this a little bit scared here with the high ground CC.
Yeah, I can't say I blame him right now. Again, Glittering Ashes has a lot of proxy options. I think herO has recognized that as well. Okay, just checking for a fake out, seems, for the time being anyway.
Yeah, actually avoids the Reaper as well. Nice movement here by herO. He was scanning the left-hand side of the map just in case there was any kind of proxy. Does slip on in, does confirm, hold on, you know, your CC is on the low ground, but his probe actually has enough vision to spot the CC on the high ground.
Yeah, it is a signal from ByuN saying, okay, I'm not one-basing it, and I want you to know that I'm not one-basing it, but I don't want to take my chances. You know, what if you're one-basing it?
Oh my god, exactly. Meanwhile, the probe turns around and the Reaper, can it survive the next shot? It will not!
That's going to be an F in the chat here, but at the very least, ByuN was able to get a full scout off. He was able to confirm, you're not doing herO things. Well, actually, no, you are doing herO things. Never mind. You're not doing current meta herO things. You're doing previous, you're doing 2017, 2018 herO things. And going for that Stargate.
There you go. We do have a Stargate opener coming out from herO. ByuN did confirm that, as you said. So even though the Reaper died, you could argue that it did its bare minimum job, which was to scout the tech, the opening tech here of the Protoss player. So, you know, at least ByuN does have that going for him. I'm just looking to try and land his CC on location. herO can be a little bit annoying and maybe even, oh my god, the shade gets in!
Wow. Might even be able to get a bit of supply block here. And it does. That's nice.
Yeah, exactly. Does delay the Deeper from building any further. Does kill one SCV as well. So some nice damage being done here. And quickly checking the vision of herO. Did herO see the production? He did see the factory, so he knows it's not a 3 racks.
I got word for a little second there that lock on that Cyclone got reset. But in the end, you know, herO will be playing it safe regardless.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that he can take his third without any issues. He knows he doesn't have to rush out any kind of splash damage either. Meanwhile, this is not a 2-1-1 like we saw on Hardwire. This is a 2-1 back into 3.
What I tell you, a bit of that awkward 3 racks that Venice was going for pretty recently. That's a triple Oracle though. Speaking of 3s.
Oh boy, triple Oracle here. Phoenix behind this, so we have a mass commitment into the aggression of herO. He wants to deal damage, not just scout the main base, but also eviscerate that mineral line. What do we have at home to defend? We have one Cyclone. We do not have any Widow Mines, and that Cyclone, oh, it can be focused down.
Yeah, I appreciate that ByuN did keep a couple of his Marines in position, because just like that, we see the power of 3 Oracles, how quickly you can take out a Cyclone like that.
Exactly, the Cyclone is no more. Meanwhile, we did have a group of flanking Marines here towards the left-hand side. Doesn't quite catch the Oracles. In the end, the Oracles will be able to dance between the bases. Will be able to escape. Can he get the tank? Oh my god.
He might run out of energy. No! He has just enough in the end there. to take out that tank.
Wow.
If only the high energy Oracle was the one that was damaged, man. Maybe the tank would have lived, but yeah, unfortunately for ByuN, he did take out an Oracle with relatively low energy.
Yeah, at least he got one Oracle, but again, one Oracle for a Cyclone and a tank, well worth it. Another Oracle dips on in, ooh, takes a lot of damage, but does delay the starport as well. Damn.
I was gonna say, you know, 2 Oracles for a Cyclone and a tank, well worth it as well, but in the end, it is only a single Oracle that ByuN is able to take out. herO running away with the map control this game, and ByuN, he's getting a little fitless, restless. Fitless? Is that a word?
What? I've never heard the word fitless before, but ByuN is fitless. He needs to get to the gym, mate. That's why he's out here, you know? He's doing some reps, doing some laps. Oh, God. Yeah, he's trying to hunt down any kind of stray oracles or stray units, period, in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, we have another oracle dipping into the main base for herO, just scouting all the production, confirming the drops that are coming, the medevacs that are coming out, even gets a revelation on them.
Yeah, once again, just keeping ByuN back for the time being and making sure he has vision on everything.
Yeah, exactly. So even though ByuN is moving out, herO sees this miles ahead. He's preparing back at home. We have a warp in of stalkers, we have shield batteries, we have sentries for force fields. Don't have a lot of splash damage because of the Stargate opener. The robot only just now finishes. I'm sure at some point we're going to get into those immortals. Sorry,
He's
those...
supply blocked.
Ah!
He's so badly supply blocked, but at the same time, ByuN is stasis trapped right in the middle of the map here. I was going to say, you know, ByuN still has a lot of opportunity with +1 with Sim and Combat Shield. On any other map that wasn't glittering ashes.
Oh my God! Okay.
So long to get across. Thankfully, there is this one Marine to be able to catch that.
Yeah, I love it. He sims forward another Marine as well. He's like, oh, don't do it again. Hoping that there's no stasis on top of the ramp. But meanwhile, here we go. The army is simming on forward. This is still a terrifying army here for ByuN. He does have +1. He does have stim, even combat shields. But seeing this army, he knows that he's going to have a hard time cracking the defenses of herO, trying to rotate around.
Yeah, especially from that position.
Yeah, with shield battery, overcharged cannons.
Yeah, of course, herO can dip between the natural and the third if ByuN wanted to force an engagement there. So, like you said, he's just rotating around.
Headed towards the left-hand side of the map instead. Meanwhile, this army is revelated, so herO sees this and he's pushing in.
I'm just watching that one stasis forward line. I'm waiting for half the entire army of ByuN to get caught up in it. And he abandons it.
You're on your own, mate. You're on your own. We do have reinforcements coming in, and it looks like ByuN maybe wants to try and bait it. He wants to try and take a fight here, but herO is getting ready to force field. He's getting ready to cut up this army. Oh,
yeah,
God.
I just realized that these are still slow lots. So not the most ideal, and ByuN is able to hot pick up and evacuate the majority of those forces. So ByuN's still in control of the map at the moment, but herO still far ahead in the economy. And the tech. He's only out now.
He really is. Like, mates, the robot production was delayed for so long because of the oracles, but now finally Colossus are coming out 2 at a time, and we even have a herO trying to clash with the army in the middle of the map with his first Colossus.
And Thermalance is about to finish up here. So herO is more than fine with trading a little bit here and there. At least when it comes to gateway units, he knows that he's going to be able to trade a bit more efficiently with the Colossus, but he doesn't want to lose the Colossus. He doesn't want to take too many risks with
it. He doesn't want to repeat a game 1, you know? He doesn't want to expose himself too much. Goes for a bit of a Zealot run by, but he does run into the main army. ByuN does clean it up pretty well. And herO, he's just refining his army ever further. Colossus are joining up. Not just that, Disruptors, the first wave, are also coming out.
Not only that, but Templar Archives is coming up.
Wait, just a trifecta. Let's get Storm, let's go.
He's gonna get Banelings somehow and Siege Tanks. You know, get all of the splash damage at once. Exactly. Not the best position to fight in right now for herO, fighting up a ramp into a concave like that. And ByuN, actually, does he have an opportunity? He did, but the buffer zealots were Yeah, we're here in time to prevent ByuN from moving forward.
And not just the Zealous mate, but the Disruptors rocked up as well. He didn't want to stim forward into those Novas. Speaking of, the Novas are going to be coming out soon. And how good are the splits?
Not there, but he doesn't even split. Oh, he does here! But the target firing was even better. How does ByuN get this so consistently? He stims on forward because there's no more buffer. The Colossus go down, the Disruptors go down. And look at an army supply difference. ByuN, it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to keep this all up because we are on Glittering Ashes. It's a little bit harder to create push on this map due to the distance. But he has so much opportunity.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. How does ByuN do it? Everything in a normal human being that tells them to run, ByuN says fight. He sims on forward, dives on top of the Colossus, on top of those Disruptors. He has no fear. And sometimes it doesn't work out for him, but sometimes it does.
I was going to say, finally he's showing a little bit of fear. And it's a healthy amount of fear. He can't push into... His army is badly overstimmed right now. He has taken control of the map, and he's, you know, taking out these little run-bys here and there, continuing to keep herO down. He can't afford to push into shield batteries.
Yeah.
But he can contain herO.
He doesn't want to throw away his lead, but a lead he does have. Again, he reset the Disruptor count. He reset the Colossus count as well. Disruptors are coming out two at a time, though, so it doesn't take too long to rebuild them. But again, ByuN now has that supply lead. Zealot run-by gets intercepted. He's not letting anything through. ByuN is getting his fourth base up and running.
His fourth base is on the way. Liberators coming out for him. He's supply blocked, and that's now rectified. But if he wasn't, then honestly, I think he could have been almost, like, basically maxed out right now.
Pretty much, mate. Pretty much. Oh, herO, he's struggling to try and deal some counter damage or keep ByuN back at home, but every single turn, ByuN is there to meet, and we even have a skate. He's coming in from behind the Disruptors.
There's a lot of them. I think one Nova will at the very least get off, and two Novas will get off. First one, not too important. The second one, though, basically reset the ghost count.
He got like 4 to 5 ghosts there. Finally.
Oh. Yeah, herO did a lot more damage than I thought he would. I looked over at the supply, and they're even.
Yeah,
ByuN's goal was back out, but now they're even.
Mate, we talk about sometimes you only need one. Sometimes you only need one, and that was the one that herO needed. Finally, he gets a good Nova off. And ByuN, he's going for a bit of a base trade here. The armies completely miss each other. ByuN is here at the natural base, and herO recalls.
Right call, or actually was it? A lot of the army did get EMP'd, but yeah, right call in the end. He is able to force ByuN back like so and keep his robo facilities alive as well.
Yeah, herO had a choice there if he wanted to try and break into the natural base as well and go into a base trade. He chose not to. Meanwhile, what? The ghost gets planted and stranded on a pillar. I didn't even know you could do that. I've never seen that before.
Alright, apparently that pillar isn't just aesthetic, it is navigable ground.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, Liberators are out, which means Disruptors are no longer king. It is now the Libs that reign supreme here in these engagements. Pushing into these freedom zones is never going to be a good thing for Protoss.
Yeah, you don't want to be trespassing in that location. Has ByuN even noticed this?
He's just forever stuck here. There's no way out. He needs to get picked up. He needs an evac.
No. ByuN is going to force an engagement in that position, and then and he's going to EMP everything. Just you watch. Just you watch.
Oh, no.
I love it. herO will never suspect it. He doesn't have high ground vision.
He'll never suspect it. Meanwhile, hero's going to try, but he's still trying to force himself up the strength. He needs to transition. He blinks on forward on top of these Liberators. Is this the right move?
Maybe. The Liberators do get taken out, and it looked for a second that ByuN lost a lot of his bio army, but surprisingly not.
Yeah, he did back on all the way up. Meanwhile, the Nova gets this. Oh my god, it gets target fired once again. The Novas are not connecting. A second Colossus rocks up, but it looks like it barely is enough to force ByuN all the way back. Yeah,
ByuN doesn't want to tangle with those sentries coming up there. Ghost is still there. It's staring out in the distance. It's like contemplating its life right now. It's like wondering how he got here.
My friends abandoned me. They kicked me out of the medevac, and now here I am for the rest of my life.
How did all my choices lead me to this?
Lead me to this, man.
Why did I go to the Ghost Academy? You know, I
Why?
should have just stayed at home and been a farmer, like my dad wanted me to.
I could have been a mule, mate. What is my purpose? Meanwhile, we do see.
But you know what?
Uh-huh.
It's map vision for it's a spotter.
True, true. No, it is a spotter. Meanwhile, here we go. herO is back with a vengeance, still focusing on his ground toss army. He hasn't transitioned into sky toss yet, but because he reset the lib count, it's not that high anymore. There's only 2 liberators for the time being. Lib range is on the way. 4 more libs are in production, but they're not here yet.
Yeah, on top of that, herO has sort of slowed down his disruptor production. He's focusing a lot more on Colossus. And Colossus fare a little bit better against Liberators, especially when the Liberators don't have range yet.
True, true. Meanwhile, Zarama gets completely shut down here. Double, triple drop going towards the fresh bases of herO. herO is not set up to defend.
But he is set up to pounce on top of the defenses of ByuN.
Oh god, we'll see, we'll see. Meanwhile, this base is going to go down. We have a couple of charge loss to try and defend back at home. He blinks on forward to take down these libs. He's going to get all 3.
And just like that, the Disruptors do have free reign, but they do get recalled now. ByuN picks up, evacuates from that position, at the very least able to take out a base.
Oh, he does take out a base, loses a drop for it. Meanwhile, I'm shocked, by the way, herO actually didn't lose any probes here.
What?
He actually, looking at the units lost, he's lost 9 probes this game, and I'm pretty sure they died earlier. So he didn't really lose too much in that engagement. Meanwhile, ByuN lost 14 SCVs at that base.
Yeah. Surprisingly not too far behind, but yeah, never something you want to lose unnecessarily. Purification Nova does pick off Marauder and a couple of Ghosts. Stalkers in position to deal with the rest of them.
Yeah, exactly. Because of these Novas, ByuN just can't keep pushing forward. He has to rely a lot more on these Liberators. Meanwhile, here we go. 6 are now out. Now he does have a comfortable amount to really leapfrog forward and bully that Protoss army.
Or can he? Still very positioning dependent. He's still depending a lot on being able to kite back to these liberation zones and fighting within the liberation zones. It does get a little bit easier with lib range, I'll tell you that much, but ByuN has been slowed down quite significantly.
I mean, this is where the map comes into play. Like, because sure, ByuN can force him back, but this map is so open that, like, herO, he just rotates around and he just finds another way in.
Or another way to death. Those stalkers do run face first into Marauders. ByuN get a couple of pickoffs here and there. Actually starting to really deal with the Zealot count.
Yeah, exactly. Novas go off, but we do have the Disruptors being focused down one after the other. 5 Marauders, 4 Marauders even get focused down, but at the cost of 2 Disruptors. I don't know if that was really worth it there for herO. He's still maxed though. He still has a very threatening army and he's still trying to force his way through.
But can he get through is definitely going to be the question.
Oh!
I was going to say ByuN's... Oh, wow! That should have been the Nova that won the herO the game, but ByuN, absolutely no fear. Yeah. I was gonna say that I think that ByuN should, should generally have the scarier army because he has fewer workers. He'll have more army supply, but these Liberators aren't doing too much for him, at least not yet. They are zoning out. They are doing a good job of zoning out the army, but it's like you said, like, Glittering Ashes is so open.
Yeah, they're forcing herO to be mobile when another Nova does connect. They're forcing him to just continue to stay on his toes. I don't like this from herO though, because he just keeps rebuilding these Disruptors, and clearly they're not working. Clearly, ByuN is doing a great job at focusing them down. He needs to go into Sky Toss. Another Nova does connect though, so maybe he can still make this work, but he's making it harder on himself.
Yeah, Novas connecting are normally a good thing, but for herO, I fear that it may be a bad thing, because every time a Nova connects, it reinforces his brain. I need to get more Disruptors. But they don't seem to be particularly worth it. herO stimps on into the liberation zones and loses all of his gateway buffer. Colossus started to go down. Disruptors started to go down. He keeps the majority of them alive, and there is a Rambai doing a lot at probe.
I don't know why there was a probe there, but there was a probe. Meanwhile, let's go. The Ghost is coming back into play. Save him, ByuN. Save him. Save him.
Pick him up, puppy. Pick him up. No! It's like when the plane passes by. Oh, he's turning around.
No! He's he's out there and he's written down help on the beach, but ByuN doesn't speak English. He doesn't know what help means. He didn't write SOS. Shaking my head.
Base Raid is back in action right now, but fighting up the ramp once again will actually work out in hero's favor. Purification Nova does land.
Yeah, the rest of the army of ByuN is turning around here, but herO has lost every single one of his disruptors. His army has lost a lot of its finesse, and now with these reinforcements, the Colossus are falling. The Gateway army is falling. And what is herO getting for this? He's trying to get on top of the production, but he's just throwing away his army. His Stalkers will get cleaned up.
Like so. ByuN has spent his entire bank though.
Oh, he has spent his bank. His worker count isn't where he wants it to be. herO has been happily mining here on the top left. What, Probes? Probes is just kind of chilling as well. And both players, they're still battered, they're still bruised. Like, after all, this is such a scrappy game. They just keep hammering each other over and over and over again, and no one is relenting. No one is letting up.
Is that Mule Hammer coming out from ByuN?
Oh, the snipe! He gets a
kill.
Okay,
so ByuN knows it's there.
He knows it's there, mate. That Ghost has 1 kill. Oh, God.
Nova, one of them will land and will take out a Ghost and another chunk of the bio. hero's army supply is starting to get lower and lower and lower and lower. But he can afford the losses a lot better than ByuN can.
Yeah, I wish that like 8 minutes ago herO started throwing down Stargates. Like, we've seen it, right? Like, he is so set on this kind of composition, and like because of it, ByuN, he's just been getting so much value despite having a worse economy. He, like, every single time they engage, like, he just gets like 1, 2, 3 disruptors.
Yeah, the cost of 1 overlanding on a decent number of bio. Oh, Zealots started to really overwhelm ByuN. You don't want to fight in the open like this.
Mate, there's no tanks. There's no Widow Mines either. Those Zealots did a surprising amount of damage on that army.
Surprising amount of damage, he says.
You're like,
clearly you don't play Terran.
You're like, mate, clearly herO needs to stop making disruptors and stop making Zealots, okay?
Yeah, a swarm. Forehead. EMP's honestly not really connecting on that many Zealots, but there is enough bio here regardless. Nova will land, but there's a lot of bio regardless, so...
There is a lot of bio. ByuN doesn't have enough momentum to break on through. Meanwhile...
It's recharged its energy.
It's recharged. He's ready for another snipe, mate. He's ready. Oh, God. And, yeah, we do see that both players, after all said and done, ByuN gets another base up and running. He's able to rebuild his army. Same can be said for herO. We do see a Liberator here harassing a little bit. 6 probes are going down. At the same time, Zealot run by also gets intercepted. herO doesn't deal any damage.
But he's slowly rebuilding while he forces the attention of ByuN away from the bases.
Though. Like, again, it's so risky to play like this.
Yeah. I mean, I get herO being hesitant to go into Sky Toss. You know, for one, it's really expensive and it takes a lot of time that I don't think ByuN is going to give him. For 2, it's not necessarily the most effective thing, but he needs something other than Disruptors right now.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, maybe this mass switch into mass charge is going to work out for him, but at the same time, every single worker here towards the northern base goes down. 20, 30 probes go down, and herO, that base was keeping him in this game. The worker count was keeping him in this game. He's going to try and reciprocate. He goes for the planetary. It looks like he will get a kill on the planetary.
It's the power of full surround.
Power of the full surround. ByuN is undeterred, though. He doesn't turn around. He wants to try and snipe another base. herO is giving up on the top left. He's expanding towards the bottom right instead. And herO, he just keeps on going. He wants more bases.
He might be able to get them. I mean, this is an orbital, not a planetary. The bio a little bit slow to come in to help out! But it does get lifted in time. There's just not enough anti-air available for herO.
Exactly. At the same time, the double drop across the map does connect with this base. 8 more probes go down. Forces a warp in back at home. Ooh, it is gonna clean up these drops, but at least ByuN was able to keep the CC alive, which may have been his main.
I may have actually.
Boy.
But other bases landing a location.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably
We
a
got two
planetary.
we got two CCs here. Yeah, it should become. It is being morphed into a planetary. herO holding fast here for the time being. herO still cannot push in, especially because all these liberators. He's just making this hard for himself, but he's rotating around. He's trying to find another way in.
Yeah, all of a sudden, because of how melee versus range works out, at a certain point, ByuN is a concave of bio is better than its round of zealots.
It is. It 100% is. Oh god, but herO is set in his ways. He wants to make this work. Can he make this work? Oh my god, ByuN, he dances with the army!
That's yet another disruptor.
Yeah.
Still pickups here from the Liberators.
Yeah, decent Novas though, decent connections here by herO, keeping him in this game. But we can see the disparity in supplies. At least herO did expand towards the bottom right. We do see ByuN is trying to find that base. He's trying to find where herO's economy is. Only he could see a little
He
bit
just hasn't
further.
gotten it yet, yeah.
Only he could see a little bit further. Might be another drop here towards the bottom left. Meanwhile, the armies are clashing.
And a lot of EMPs do get thrown down. The Zealot's health in total has just about been cut in half.
It really
coming down.
Another planetary is going to go down, but not one of the important ones. Meanwhile, we have a scan. ByuN finally sees the base.
And he is sending just about everything there. Trying to turn around and force an engagement here on choke point, but herO's not taking the bait. Instead, he backs off into another choke point. But at least his Purification Novas have reset on the disruptors, so he's able to zone ByuN out a little bit.
Exactly. This is so important. He's keeping the army of ByuN busy here again, stopping ByuN from going towards the bottom right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we do have another drop going on. Workers are falling left and right.
Wow.
Up.
Feels like ByuN took this entire game to power up, but now that he's fully powered, he's good to go. Every single disruptor has been taken out. Still a beefy army from herO. It's be a little careful, ByuN does.
It wasn't a drop, but by the way, it was this MVP Liberator, the Lib.
Wow.
Oh my god, the probes are falling left and right. Meanwhile, here we go. herO trying to engage here, but as you said, every single disruptor just fell, and now there's nothing left. There's only Stalkers remaining. 2 more disruptors are on the way, but what are they compared to the 6 that just died?
3 times fewer is what they are compared to the 6 that just died. ByuN has so many EMPs at this point. He's just throwing them out left and right.
Yeah,
he has spent his bank though.
And he's done it, mate. He has broken through. herO tried so hard to fight against his style, tried to brute force his way through with charge shots, with stalkers, with disruptors, but in the end it was not enough. ByuN does it.
He will be moving on to the grand finals, once again preventing that PvP.
Oh my god.
That was intense.
That was actually intense. Like I could my heart could barely keep up with it. Just again a very scrappy game. Two players just beating each other over the head with what they had, and they would trade so well with each other. They would just keep resetting each other's liberator counts or their ghost counts or their disruptor counts, and they just wouldn't stop. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
That was a sub 30-minute game, and I don't think either player ever had the opportunity to get into their late game tech.
Yeah. They didn't.
The High Ground Ghost won the game.
The High Ground Ghost lived.
He did. It's trapped there forever. That's horrifying.
I love it. I love that some of the other casters noticed it as well. Yes, let's go. GG, well played there by ByuN. In the end, he was able to just out control his opponents. And he moves on to the grand finals.
He secured a little bit of a lead between the herO ByuN rivalry, and we do have confirmation. Fitless is not a word. Fitful is a word, however. It means active.
There you go, mate. There you go. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I hope everyone enjoyed that. was a wild game, and we'll see how this tournament concludes as we're getting ready for the grand finals. ByuN just took down the best Protoss player in the entire world, but up comes a new challenger, another Protoss player, but the runner-up of GSL. You know, a great player in his own right, has his own style, has his own view on things, has his own way of PvT. Can he do it? Can he overcome Creator?
X stood out. We'll see.